All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Appreciate everybody coming out today. Hats off to Texas and how they played. Bottom line for us is we know we can't beat a very, very good football team if we make mistakes. And we just made too many on film. You know, we went back and watched it with our kids yesterday and certainly watched a lot of the staff on Sunday. And there's some things that we want to correct and put ourselves in position to be able to battle a program like that. But again, that's a very, very talented football team looking back. Very impressed with what Coach Sark is doing with them. During the game, we battled some adversity, as you do in college football, but we had a couple players go down and we had some guys step up, and that was really fun. You'll get to hear from one of them today, and Jake Constantine. For the first time in my 20-something year career, 24-year career, we got down to our third quarterback in the course of a game, and it happened on, I think, the second drive of the second quarter. And Jake is a guy that we brought in here with high hopes and really made a lot of progress through the spring. And due to injury, he was not able to participate in training camp. He went through, I believe it was 3 or 4 days. And then he really hadn't practiced since August 9th until last Monday, and had taken 0 reps with the 1s or 2s. And I was just so impressed with a couple of things. I was impressed with the way Jake was able to come in and really manage everything and get everything orchestrated and make plays go and find the open guy and deliver the ball. But I was also impressed with Coach Tui and how they communicated on the sideline and how they got him some calls he was comfortable with. So there was some good there for sure. And again, some lessons learned, to say the least. But what we talked to the team about yesterday is the old Ted Lasso thing about being a goldfish. You know, the happiest animal in the world is a goldfish because it has a 10-second memory. And that's what we talked about. We needed to learn from it, and then we had to flush it because we've got to go 1-0 this week. And, you know, I fully believe we're better than we played in these 3 games, and we should be better, and we will be better. And we got to start proving it on game day. So I'm really looking forward to the opportunity. We talked about a new season starting yesterday, and we are completely on to Texas Southern. So really excited about that. We're back at Rice Stadium this weekend, our last game before conference play begins.
This is Randy at Channel 2. What have you learned most about your team in these first 3 ball games? You and I were talking before the season, obviously a brutal way to start the year with 3 great teams, but what have you learned now moving forward that maybe you didn't know as you guys continue now?
Gosh, that's a great question. I think we learned more about individual players. We learned like who would be able to step up in those situations, and no matter who the opponent was, be able to get their job done and do their 111th. And so I think that's great information that our coaching staff needed. And, you know, sometimes people can do it in practice and can't do it on game day. And we learned that about some guys, unfortunately, too. And so unfortunately, because it's a meritocracy, we'll have to make some tough changes and changes that nobody wants to make. But I love these kids. We told them in their living room that's one thing they could count on, is everything in this program would be earned, and it will be a meritocracy. And if somebody's not getting it done or somebody's getting it done better, they will get that opportunity. And so that's really how we've gone forward this week.
I know you love your talent going into this season. Do you feel like hopefully you guys get back on track Saturday, that it'll take one game to kind of get that confidence back as you start conference play?
Yeah, I think look, we need another game. It doesn't matter who we play. We just need to get a chance to get back on the field. We are so ready to work. The guys came out and had an unbelievable practice yesterday. I thought the juice was great. And we need an opportunity to get that feeling kind of out of our heads, if you will. And that's why I'm really trying to make everything about Texas Southern. I'm trying to make everything about what we can control going forward. Now, look, that was a much more talented Texas team than we played 2 years ago. It was not even close. The talent level, the running backs, what they were able to do, I thought was really, really impressive. And then defensively, you know, it's hard to say you made some progress when you didn't score any points. We're talking about Texas's defense and our offense, but you know what? We ran the ball a little more effectively than we have and a little more consistently. When we protected the passer, you know, Jake was able to jump in there and be 12 of 15. And I think we were 80% on the game passing the ball. We've got to be able to, you know, create more explosive plays. That's something we have to be able to do. But maybe it will be able to happen when we get a chance to play people that aren't Texas. Maybe we're going to put our kids in situations to be able to get that done. And that's what we're looking forward to. So again, like the talent level, no, I'm not down on the talent level on our team. I think it is the most talented team we've had in our 4 years here, and it's not close.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
Hey, Mike, on that talent, later in the game against Texas and this week, you got a couple young guys or newer guys maybe getting some reps. What do you see on film against Texas and this year about guys like, you got Kirk Lockhart made some plays. You see Aiden Ciano a little bit on the field, Isaiah Floyd back on defense. Some of those guys who, might not have been fixtures, but are playing bigger roles.
Yeah. And honestly, I don't know, were you guys able to hear what I said about Jake Constantine earlier?
Yeah, the beginning piece. Yeah.
Good. Okay. So, Jake's another one in that category where he's new to us at least, and an opportunity for him to jump in there and improve some good things. But I think you hit the nail on the head. Kirk Lockhart is a guy who played some for us last year. He's playing more and more as he comes back being healthy. Gabe Taylor's a name I would throw in there that I think has been really impressive on the field. Had the interception the other day. Ikenna and Ichukwu is, just a really different player this year. He's more dominant. He's the one that caused the interception that Gabe got. Like, he was able to loop on a stunt and see a lane to the quarterback and accelerate through the quarterback's body. And that was instrumental in that ball kind of popping up in the air and Gabe being able to come down with it. So I think we are getting some good input from our younger guys. But it's also very nice that you mentioned, like, Aiden's gotten a couple snaps and Aiden's doing on defense, but he's doing a great job on special teams. But the fact that we're not having to play 7, 8, 9 freshmen, maybe like we have in the past 3 years, I think is actually a positive. It doesn't mean we missed on them recruiting wise. I think they're awfully talented. It just means our team's a little deeper right now. And certainly bringing back those super seniors helps that.
You mentioned guys earn their reps and stuff, throughout this process, and something you're committed to. Is that something where you think there's a couple other guys who maybe haven't played as much this first 3 games that have earned their chance for more playing time, maybe against Texas Southern?
There will be some people that get an opportunity to play in this game when they've earned the right. There won't be many that you haven't seen in the first 3. Maybe some expanded roles, because again, what we're trying to base it on is that, training camp was training camp. That set the depth chart, and that showed us kind of who people were and what they knew in our system. If there's somebody that's very young and talented, like a Marcus Williams, we're trying to bring him along and see, like, how much can he do and how much could he help us down the road. So that's an example, I think, of what you're describing. For us, it's going to be more of the guys that got reps in these first 3 games and proved to us on game day that they were able to do it, and maybe do it better than the person in front of them, or jump up from a 2 to a 3 to a 2 or a 2 to 1. And there's a couple instances of that going on right now where at least expanded reps will be seen this Saturday.
And then I did want to ask you about the play of your offensive line and how you're feeling about that, kind of up and down through the first 2 games, but 5 yards a carry roughly against Texas after 2.2 first 2 games out. What changed, and do you think you have some sustainability on that going forward?
Yeah, I do. I think that they played really well together. I thought they did a better job, kind of like what we had talked about, seeing the game through one set of eyes and really blocking things together as a whole. And then I think our backs did a really good job hitting it. I thought they had turned some 3 or 4 yard gains into 6 yard gains. And then when the things were there to make an explosive happen, we were able to get explosive runs in the run game. And that's exactly what we have to have. So that was really good. I still think there's a component to our quarterback driven run game that, we can get going and have some opportunities to maybe pull balls and get them on the perimeter, do some triple option stuff, as well as some RPO stuff coming out of it. So I think all that stuff we're still growing in and is all still coming. Coach Tui's doing a great job really introducing that to our offense and giving us some new ideas week in and week out. But I think Sanders Davis with the offensive line, you have seen growth. And, against Texas, we probably did play our best game of the year as an offensive line so far. And that's good to say, when you are having some efficiency running the ball and doing a decent job protecting the passer. There was a couple errors communication wise where in the pass game, we didn't see the game through one set of eyes like we need to. That led to some problems and some quarterback hits. But we're going to grow on those too. And if we can make the same jump this week as we made last week, I think we'll be really pleased.
Coach, did you see any improvement in your receiving core? I know that's a limited room right now, but from the Houston game to the Texas game, and also, is there any update on Rosner or August right now?
Yeah, I don't know about improvement from one game to the next. I thought there were some guys that got in there and did some cool things. Kobe Campbell got in there and found a way to make plays. And, we count on Jake Bailey to be able to do things. We count on Jake Bailey to be able to convert the sticks on third down, as well as find ways to go from first down to first down. And I thought Jake Constantine did a good job having a media factor with him as the game went on. So I think all those guys are trying to grow. But when you're talking about Jake being the only starter that was up for the game against Texas, it was definitely an uphill battle. Now you ask about having Roz and August Pete back. I think August is closer than Roz to being back. August is working his butt off. He was at practice yesterday, shirt off, running, sweating like crazy. So hopefully sooner than later on August.
Anything else for Coach right now?
Yeah, Boom. As of right now, what's the game plan at quarterback for Saturday?
Yeah, Jake is taking not all the one reps. He and Luke split the one reps yesterday, and that's kind of how we're going right now. We're going to continue to get more information on Luke as we go, and just we see all the progress that Jake made throughout the game. And yesterday, both quarterbacks were firing it well at practice. Like Jake is really doing some really good things. We're excited to see where he can go this week while actually practicing, what he'll look like in a game after getting practice, which is should be a very good thing. I guess, Matt, I'll also talk about the injuries with those guys. We had both quarterbacks go down, as we said. Luke went down with an upper body injury that he couldn't return from. I think it was reported as a concussion on Saturday. That was not the case. He did not get hit. It was not anything like that. And then Wiley went down on the second series, the second quarter, and he is ruled out for this game.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you. Anything else? All right.
Thanks.
Thank you all.
Thanks, Coach. We'll bring up Jake Constantine. All right, Jake, just to open up, just a little reflection on Saturday night and, having to answer the call kind of in a hurry with just a limited amount of time and your prep and just what that was like.
It was good. I was excited to get back out there and, start firing away with our offense. Like Coach said, I had been out with a month with a previous injury, but it felt good to get out there and practice again with the team. And I thought the guys did a great job during the game, just staying calm with me coming in there without really getting any reps with the ones during the week. So I thought our team handled that well.
Questions?
I'm sure it's been a little bit of a whirlwind. Can you kind of wrap your head around, your last a real live action football game happening in 2019 at Weber State, and then fast forward almost 3 years and you're thrown in there at no notice against the University of Texas?
Yeah, it was fun. A dream come true. As a kid, you grow up watching Texas play and, the big stage. I thought that was awesome to get out there and, compete in front of a crowd like that. And I'm really excited to see what our team could do this week, just going upward. And I think we're definitely going to attack them and, just do what we're supposed to do. And our coaches are doing a good job of, game planning. And I'm excited to see what we can do this week.
What was your biggest kind of takeaway after getting to sit down and watch film of yourself playing from your first live reps, and kind of what are your to-dos this week as you prep for the upcoming game?
It was exciting. I definitely have to fix up a few things in my own play. I definitely was a little rusty, I'd say, but I think I did a good job for the most part. I think our O-line did a great job protecting me for the most part. I could help them out a little bit as well with my footwork and stuff and just my reads and, fastening things up with my own play. So I think we're just going to, like I said, game plan real well this week. And, I could dive into my playbook a little bit more and help us out.
Hey, Jake, let me ask you about the speed of the game. in regards to getting in the game versus Texas? I mean, you can't emulate that in practice. Talk about that and, what you can take from that game and apply to practice and getting ready for Texas Southern.
Yeah, when I got into the game, I just tried to calm my mind down and just say that I've been here before. And I think that definitely helped me out. And, just slowing the game down and slowing my reads down while playing. I definitely think, like Coach Bloom said, with the week of practice, it'll be a lot better for me just connecting with some of our receivers and getting the timing down and just making a lot of the calls with the O-line and stuff like that will definitely be beneficial for me and the team.
Jake, what are the strengths you think you have as a quarterback that can help this team get some wins?
Definitely just say, my composure in the pocket, I'd say, is really good. I like to say I stand my ground real strong and, just keep my eyes downfield. I definitely think I can improve in some things, like just getting rid of the ball on time as of last game, just coming in there a little rusty. I definitely think there's some fixing that I could do with my own play, but I'm just excited to get after it this week.
Anything else for Jake? All right, Jake, thanks for that.
All right. Thank you, guys.
We'll bring up Kenneth Orji. All right, KK, just to start off, any reflections after watching the film and then how you attack this week in preparation?
The biggest reflection is that we just got to make tackles because a lot of those plays that they made big runs on, we were there. A lot of plays they had even the runs they had 10 yards, we were there. And we just missed tackles as a team, as a defense, and we know we have to work on that this week. And that's the main thing we're talking about as a team because we know we could play better, especially on the defensive side of the ball. So making our tackles, and we're going in every day. We're taking this Texas Southern game like we're playing UT again, to be honest, because we can't take them lightly just because they're FCS team. We're taking them like we're playing Texas again, taking it as serious as possible. And we just want to go out there and show people that we can play like we know we can and how we work during fall camp. And this is our opportunity to show everybody that we can play how we play.
All right, thank you. Open the floor for questions.
The last time this Rice team lost 3 games, you went around and won 3 in a row to close out the 2019 season. Do y'all think you have the same ability to kind of flip a switch now and start building and get on a run?
Yes, sir, we do. We wholeheartedly believe that we have that ability. Like, there's no doubt. All we gotta do is put it on the field with the amount of work that we put in this year. We just gotta go out there and show it. And we taking it 1 week at a time. This week we're taking it 1-0. That's all we've been talking about, is taking it 1-0 this week and trying our hardest to show that we could play ball. And I think as soon as we hit the ball rolling, as previous years have shown, as soon as we get that one win, we start continuously getting more and more wins. So we're going to take this 1-0, and then the season is going to be a whole different season from there. I believe in my brothers and the work they put in. So.
Hey, Kenneth, I want to ask you a positive question and then ask you to reflect a little bit. That hit that the really clean sack that you got on the quarterback had to feel pretty good. What is it you guys have to do to get a little bit more of that from your opponents for the rest of the season?
We got to stay after it. As a D-line, that's all we talk about, staying after it and keep going, because how we see it, the rush and the coverage work 1-on-1. And you saw when Ikenna got free and open and hit number 11, Casey Thompson, we caused a pick for Gabe Taylor. And I think another play, Myron got in and got a hit, and George almost caught a pick. So we just got to keep getting after the quarterback that we're going against. We don't even have to get sets. Get a QB hit. I trust our DBs to make the play on the ball because they're right there. They're great DBs. George has been here for 4 years. Naeem has been here for 4 years. Gabe, Sean, Jordan, they're new, but they playing like they're veterans. And so that's all I believe is that us as a D line, we talked about it. We said we're I think the most mature or the older players on the team. So we got to take a hold of this and get back there and make the quarterback throw terrible balls so our DBs can make a play off of it.
Hey, Kenneth, do you think the defense is a lot better than the scores and the stats would even indicate? And if so, why? Why is that?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. I do think the defense is a lot better. The reason I believe that is because, like I said, I know the work we put in. I know what we did last year. We only missing like one piece from that team last year. We were ranked in the top 20. And I believe that all of our players understand that we haven't played to our standard yet. We played it to our standard the first 3 quarters of Arkansas, but since then, defensively, we haven't played to our standard, and we need to get back to playing how we know we could play, because that's a big thing about Coach Bloom's philosophy is run the ball, control the clock, and play great defense. And if we can't hold that, play great defense, we can't do the other two. Like, we need our coaches to believe in us to, if the team gets the ball on the 1 yard line, one yard to go, we can stop them. And I know we can do that because we've done it before.
You mentioned having to tackle and, execute on the fundamentals. Is it going to, is it encouraging or to some degree that there's not a Bijan Robinson coming out there next week that, some things that are just execution things and you're not going to be running up against another running back of that caliber to make things even more difficult?
To be honest, I won't say it's encouraging. Me personally, I know we only get one chance at this, but I wish we got the opportunity again to play them again so we could show how we really play. But unfortunately, we don't. We have that one chance and we didn't show up for it. But if we ever get that chance again, we promise you that the defense will be there. But this week, how I'm looking at it, I'm not really excited or encouraged that they don't have a running back like Bijan Robinson. To be honest, I wish they did so we could prove that we can make those plays. But I am excited and encouraged that we have a chance and an opportunity to show people that we could do what we do intellectual brutality, and we can play great defense. And we're hopefully trying to get a shutout if we can. That's the goal this week, is a shutout or anything, just to make sure we get this ball rolling. As soon as this ball is rolling, I promise you this Rice football team is going to be something to watch.
And then how about that line? You mentioned a bunch of the veteran guys in the secondary, some veteran guys on the line, and then Isaiah Floyd sliding in and seeing his first reps on defense in quite some time. How do you think that unit is kind of gelling as y'all go through non-conference play?
First on Isaiah, for him not being on defense for the last 2 years, I remember at the end of the game, usually you'd think people give up with the score how it was, but Isaiah came in, especially at the end, made like 3 stops on his own, which was crazy, like back to back. 1 yard, no gains. And that's for someone who's been on offense playing the O-line and coming back on defense and doing that against a team like Texas is amazing. And as a D-line, we got Trey Schumann, who's our captain, Ikenna, Elijah, who's going to be playing in the NFL next year, most likely. And we got me, and then we got Josh Piercy, AB, Miles Adams, so many people on this team or on this D-line that could play and can make plays, because we have Trey Schumann with the forced fumble against Houston, Ikenna with the big hit, Elijah just making tackles from a nose tackles position, like everywhere on the field. So we know how good we could be. Coach Calhoun, Coach Raytano, they've been putting in our heads that we're good, and we just want to show how good we are. Coach Bloom believes in us. He always comes to our room and tells us that we're like the backbone of this team. And like pretty much if we have a bad day, that this team is going to have a bad day. And so we this week we came with that mindset. I've talked to Trey. I've talked to Braylon, even though he's not playing right now. He's still part of the team. Talked to the Braylon, EG, and we all talked about like this week we got to make sure the D-line plays as great as we could possibly play and continue that for the rest of the year, because if we play good, the whole defense will play good. And then from defense, we'll go to special teams. And from special teams, we'll go to offense. And it'll just be a trickle-down effect like that. So we start off in our room doing our thing, worried about what we do. And if we do everything right, I have a feeling the whole team's just gonna come behind us.
Okay, last question I have for you real quickly. I know you guys are concerned about yourselves. You want to make sure that you guys are ready for the game, but any concerns with Texas Southern's offense?
Well, I have a homeboy from back home that I went to high school with. I know he plays receiver over there. His name is Jonathan Giles. And we went to high school together. He was my quarterback for 2 years. I know he's pretty nice. He went to Texas Tech and was all Big 12. And then dressed with LSU. And injuries happened, brought him to Texas Southern. But I know he's nice. I know their receiving core is nice. But like I said, I trust my DBs to make plays. Like, we've played a lot of nice receivers, U of H receivers, Texas receivers, Arkansas's receivers. A lot of them receivers are going to the NFL. So I trust my DBs to make the plays that they need to make. And as long as we get back there as a D-line, like I said earlier, we won't have to worry about nothing really. So I trust them to make the plays that the ball is in the air, and I trust us to get back there to make sure that the ball is in the air for too long.
Have you spoken with Jonathan?
Yeah, I've talked to him. He talked to me 2 days before the Texas game, because I think they had a bye week last week. So he was talking about how he was ready to play this game and he couldn't wait. And he's like a big brother to me because he's 2 years older than me. So yeah, I love to play him. I love to see him. I love to hit him because I never got a chance in high school. So yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be fun.
Very nice.